Hello and welcome to Punk Science TV. I'm Dr. Manjir, and this episode is going to sound even more crazy than we've ever done before. I'm really excited about this episode as well because it's something that I don't think anybody has touched on before, and it's, do black holes actually create wildfires? Just sounds completely outlandish, so we have to do a bit of a recap. So if you've been reading my books or watching Punk Science TV at all, you'll know that I talk about something called the black hole principle. And that's the same pattern is going all the way throughout the universe, from supermassive black holes at the center of a galaxy all the way down to the atom size and everything in between. So that includes thunderstorms, and it's because of this principle, that's it, going all the way through the universe, that I've been able to predict various things happening in thunderstorms. For example, antimatter coming from thunderstorms. I predicted and published this before NASA even discovered this. And it also explains why things like gamma ray bursts are in thunderstorms as well as in supermassive black holes out in space. And also why I was able to predict that water would be seen coming out of black holes, because it's essentially the same process. So what do we make of something that we see sometimes in nature, and that's wildfire storms? So you have forest fires, and they seem to create these massive clouds, and these actually build up, and they create these massive clouds in forest fires. And you probably don't remember now because there's so much has happened, but there was a lot of forest fires that happened, especially in Australia earlier this year, and caused massive devastation. So it's a very serious matter. So we've noticed over the years that these wildfires can create their own storms, and these clouds accumulate over the fires, and they actually create lightning, which creates further fires, and the fire can spread in this way. So it's an extremely serious issue. But as you know, any type of lightning or thunderstorms are created by the black hole principle. So what this could mean is actually wildfires, some of them at least, the initial strike that causes the initial fire could actually be caused by a black hole. So black holes that are over the forest, that, because black holes fluctuate, sometimes they are in one place more than other. Everything in the universe is in a push and a pull. Everything is breathing, and so you will have these fluctuations, and including the earth itself is going through cycles. So what we call climate change could be because the earth is going through a cycle where there are more black holes in the atmosphere because the earth is going through changes, and as that happens, it starts to produce more of these lightning strikes which hit the earth if it's dry enough, and causes fires. Now because these are a number of black holes in an area, it looks like the fire itself is creating the thunderstorm. But of course, if you've watched my previous videos about lies about lightning, you'll know that actually we don't have a satisfactory explanation as to why lightning happens. So it's very, very interesting that these clouds accumulate. And we used to think that they are rare, but now we realise that they are actually more common than we thought. So this is the way that the storm works, and so it's very, very interesting. So we call these storms pyrocumulonimbus or pyro-CB clouds. It says here they are infrequent, but they actually are seem to be quite common now. Now, interestingly, people have realised that these pyro-CB clouds are actually very similar to massive volcanic eruptions. They can occur, with massive volcanic eruptions, but they are also similar to volcanic eruptions themselves and can put aerosols high into the stratosphere. So this is something that we've only just finding out, that these smoke particles, the actual material that's ejected by the firestorms, can actually go really, really high. So much so that people think a volcano has just gone off, which is pretty amazing. And this is the sort of pattern. You can see the spiral pattern there, one of the signatures of the black hole principle. So basically what's happening is essentially just as a volcano is a black hole principle process, hence that's why it has the lightning. Just as the center of a galaxy has lightning, and in the future hopefully we will find gamma rays from volcanoes, thus doing a bit more of this theory. That's another prediction. We have already found gamma ray bursts in thunderstorms. So the behaviour of these wildfire storms are very similar to a volcano because it's the same process. So we're going through the same process all the way down, and people have noticed that there's a lot of moisture around these pyro-CB clouds, these really big clouds over wildfires. Now, this is such a big issue for humanity. Wildfires cause a lot of devastation. So if we can understand them further, this could be an inroad to helping us to alleviate some of the suffering that wildfires cause, because if the initial strike is actually from a black hole in the atmosphere causing a lightning strike and causing dry surroundings to ignite, there may be something in the future that we can do to prevent that from happening. And we like to think of wildfires being caused by our own recklessness, and that we are doing things to burn fossil fuels, so-called fossil fuels, and put things into the air to actually create climate change. But climate change could be happening as a result of the Earth's natural cycles, and as a result there are more black holes that are accumulating, and these are causing more lightning strikes, and these are causing the fires to happen. So this might seem like a very, very odd and bizarre explanation for wildfires, but when you put together the pattern and the evidence that we see, it really does look like this is just the same pattern happening at every single level. And some of these strikes could, I'm not saying that they are because I don't have the proof, could be the initial reason why wildfire starts. And I think it's worth looking into. So I hope you agree that this is a really good topic to do some further investigation into. And this is definitely a world first. I don't think anybody has put these things together before. So let me know what you think in the comments, and please follow this page and this channel if you're on YouTube. And I shall see you again soon. Take care.